All right, guys, I'm going to share with you another Casio Pro Trek. I'm still on my Pro Trek journey. There are an insane amount of awesome models out there and colorways and options. So I'm still kind of in this area here where, I kind of started with like the, I think this is the, what do they call it? The prg600. And then, I dabbled in a couple of prg650s. If you look at these guys, there's different colorways. And now I'm on to this one, and there'll be more coming, but this is the one I'm on right now. This is the PRW. You can see it there, 6600, and this one has a Y after it. This is the navy, it's really dark navy blue strap, and then a color in the dial with a little bit of khaki colored indices and handset, but with a black case. So the main thing that this one adds that the other 600 and 650s didn't have is this is going to have the multi-band 6. So if you watch the channel on the regular, you'll notice when I did the unboxing of this, it was already set. The time was already taken care of. So not that that's a problem. Like, you can set the time on these, no problem, and it's going to hold it. But it just doesn't have the multi-band where it's going to update every night. So it's just always going to be accurate, even though for the most part, these quartz watches are just accurate to begin with. So the next step, obviously I'll probably go to the next one will be the same style, but I'll add the one, I forget what the model is on it, but it'll have the sapphire crystal. This one still has a mineral crystal on it. So it hasn't been a problem for me. I bought this one used. This is a 650, and there are some scratches on the crystal here somewhere. Yeah, there's like a nick there. So yeah, they're going to be more susceptible. Plus there's a pretty large real estate here of the crystal, the mineral glass, to, get hit. It's not protected like a G-Shock square or something, so they're slightly minimized with the risk. But size-wise, they're basically the same sizes. I measure the case, excluding all the extra bits on the outside. If we just try to capture the actual case, I get about 48 mil, maybe just a touch under 48 mil. The lug to lug, if I measure all the way from here to here, is going to be a 54, but you can see that's a dramatic turn down right there. So it's going to still wear good, even though it is a larger dimension. Thickness, I measure this one at 13.65. The other models over here, I think were like 13.35, so just a touch thinner, not a big deal. And this will accept 24 millimeter straps. But why you would change the strap, I don't know. These straps, whatever the material is, some sort of silicone, I'm sure, but the texture on it and everything is not like some other silicone ones where they seem like they attract lint and dust and everything. These ones don't do that. They're very clean and soft feeling, and extremely pliable as well. Also pretty thick, so they're going to be strong. So it's like darn near the perfect strap. So whatever this material is, if other strap maker companies out there could replicate it for other watches, I would definitely be on board with that. And maybe it already exists and I'm just not aware of it. So, the functions, I'll kind of fly through them. You got your mode button here on the bottom left. So, and then you have your indicator there, where it cuts out the 10 indice. So you can see it pushed towards the barometer, so it's going to give you your barometer. Then you have your temperature, so 65 degrees down here in the dungeon. Recall, I honestly don't know what the recall thing is for. Then you have your stopwatch. You'll start and stop and reset like that, kind of like a standard chronograph type feature. And then you have your countdown timer, and you can adjust that to different countdown times if you use one that is kind of a normal time frame that you want to count down. And then you have alarm functions, and then you have your world time, so you can set a separate time zone on it, and then you can have that on there too. The RC is going to be, the signal time received and all that good stuff. And then you just go back to your main time. So that's pretty much how most people are going to use this watch. There are, different display things. You can hit display up here on the top left, and it's going to show off to the left of your digital display. It's going to show the barometer setting, so you can kind of see if it's going to storm or something like that. And then you can go to the actual time instead of how I had it before. So you can have your digital and analog time set up. I personally run it in this configuration. I think most people will as well. So you're going to have your day, Friday, and then your month, and then your day of the month. So quick access up here to the top right is going to give you your compass function. So it's going to give you an actual readout south by southeast 165 degrees. And then that seconds hand now becomes your compass pointer for north. And then on the bottom right, you're going to have your altimeter, 595 feet where I'm at. So, and then you can just go back to your main time by hitting that. There's also a screw down crown here because this does have a, I forget what the water resistance is, it might be 100 meters. So if you pop this guy out, now you can select your city. I'm in NYC time zone. So if you rotate that around, you'll see the hour hand automatically adjust for that. So if you're traveling or something like that, it's super easy to just adjust that as soon as you get an opportunity to do so. So I think this is probably an extremely versatile watch, and I can see why everyone likes it. The other thing that I got to be honest, and some people probably also didn't realize this, but there is lume on the hands and everything, and I'll show you that. But there's illuminator on this too, a light, and it's kind of discreetly tucked in right here. That's this button right here. So that's an actual button. You push that down. It's easily accessible when it's on wrist. And I've noticed so far, let me give you a wrist shot. My favorite illumination has been on the prw6600. So let me pop this on wrist and then we'll play with some lights. Yeah, the straps on these are just crazy comfortable. One keeper is all you need. Simple buckle. You got tons of adjustments, so it's going to fit whatever wrist size you have. There it is on my 7 1/4, and it feels and wears great because it's lightweight. I'll see if I can get, if I don't weigh it, I'll put a weight down in the description, but it's super light. So super visible, easy to read, all that good stuff. Let's see if I can play around a little bit with the illumination on this. All right, let's shut off some lights. So I did charge it up a little bit. You can see everything's loomed up. Surprisingly pretty good for the color. If you remember, it was like a khaki colored indices and everything. So, but if you hit that illuminator now, you can see it kind of lights up the outside framing of the hands, and then it lights up your digital display. So if you can see that. But if you look over on the prg650, I have it on the auto light function, but you can see it has the illumination, the super luminova on it. But then when you hit the illuminator, it lights up the whole indices, and I much prefer that. That is so much more enjoyable. And being that this is a more expensive model, I do like that it has the super luminova or whatever formula they're using directly on it, so I don't have to hit the light. But these are solar. I don't really care. I'll use that light as much as I want, and it's probably going to be fine. I wish the indices lit up like the 650, and then the indices around the outside of the Arabic numbers could have been your lume. So I think you guys will agree that if this had that same lume function the 650 did, that the numbers were to light up, that would be killer. It would be a total win for in my book. But it's still an awesome watch, and I really like these Pro Treks. All right, so I decided to just weigh it real quick anyway. It's 78 grams. SKX weighs like 140. The GA 2100, I have it sitting here, weighs 50. So it's still really light for how big and everything it is. I also didn't talk about the price. I bought this off a reputable eBay seller. I'm not going to put the link in the description, but I'll have the model number. You guys can look it up yourself because I'm not going to support things I'm not really 100% sure with, and they might sell out or whatever. I paid $267 US, free shipping from eBay. Good seller, good shipping, all that good stuff. And I think that if you can find these under 300, I think you're on a total win for the 6600, because it's only a few dollars more than the non-multi-band one. So good luck hunting for the Pro Trek that works best for you guys. I'll see you on the next vid.